Partnered by Times Influence.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Economic Times in conversation with Asian business leaders, where I'm in conversation with the heads of top organizations and they tell me a little bit about their leadership mantras, what makes them tick and how they motivate their employees to go the extra mile. On this episode, I'm in conversation with the MD of the Wadhwa Group, Navin Makhija. The Wadhwa Group is among the top players to contend with in Mumbai's rapidly evolving commercial and residential real estate landscape. Managing Director Navin Makhija has led the group's expansion across Maximum City, and we explored the personal and professional leadership philosophies that guide his approach to achieving business excellence. Now I want to turn the spotlight a little inward. So you've had almost over 15 years of experience in the real estate sector. How did that journey start?
Mr. Wadhwa, who's the chairman of this organization, he had just when I was in college asked me to join the organization. He gave me all the right learnings, he gave me all the right experiences, allowed me to make mistakes, and supported me with all my decisions, and real estate is what I know.
And is this something that you carry on in your leadership mantra, this part where you said, you were allowed to make some mistakes to learn?
Real estate or any business, if it has to flourish, cannot happen without a great team. And a great team cannot perform if you don't empower them and trust them. So in my simple form of leadership is to get the right people. Also, our team is very, very young in terms of age, but the kind of empowerment they have, I'm pretty sure a lot of organizations, senior heads at the age of 50, 52 may not have. Real estate is a very evolving. You need to keep learning. I mean, it's not something where it's not like manufacturing. Once your processes are set, the ride is easy.
A lot of things change in the sector itself, plus an impact from other sectors, other events. How are you leading the company as an MD at the top? How are you kind of ensuring that the company sails through the rough times as well as the good times?
We want to make sure that there is a particular size of work we want to do. Whether it's good time or bad times, we really don't want to go beyond that. And once you're there in that zone of X footage which you want to deliver, then you're able to monitor that. And yes, there are uncontrollable items, there are uncontrollable environments outside. But since the scale of operations, like we are only in Mumbai, we are not in slum rehabilitation. So kind of conscious decisions of being in particular area or particular zone and in a particular authority kinds of makes it easy for us. With demonetization, with the GST and the new DCR and the RERA, we feel that a number of developers going forward will reduce. There's a lot of work, there'll be a lot of consolidation which will happen. Now, one thought is that, okay, look at other large projects, go outside Mumbai, go into other cities, other metros. The other is that the industry itself shrinking, number of developers are going to shrink. Why not to focus on your homegrown market where people know you, where there's a trust which is there. A lot of developers, when we meet, looking at doing things across the city, across everywhere in India, I would say. We consciously, as I said, stuck to Mumbai, stuck to our strengths. Our strength is residential development. Our strength is in the 15 to 25,000 price bracket. Our strength is in commercial development. So we stuck to that. We look at opportunities within this zone. And it's not that we need to look at other opportunities as if these are going to end. These are, in fact, I think only going to keep coming more. Today we evaluate more than 8 to 10 proposals kind of every month, and out of these 8 to 10 proposals, 7 to 8 proposals are of co-developers. So this just goes to show that there's a lot of consolidation happening, and there's enough and more coming in this space for us to look at anything outside this.
Navin, when we look about the way ahead in 2018 for the Wadhwa Group, what are some of the upcoming projects or new projects that you're starting, and what are any new areas that you're getting into in Mumbai?
We are launching 6 new projects. One is in Kandivali, one is in Goregaon, one in Chembur, one in Dadar, one in Thane. So there are few projects. They'll all start in the next 3 to 6 months, and they're all residential. We're starting one commercial asset as well, and this itself would be close to 2 million square foot of development. And we are launching our flagship project in Panvel, which is an affordable housing project. That will be our first project in sort of a township development. It's a new zone where we are entering, and we've really worked hard for the last 3-4 years on that project.
I need you to look into your crystal ball and tell me your thoughts on what the real estate sector could look like in the next 2 years. What do you see 2020 for real estate in India?
So I think the confidence in real estate in terms of buyers will only increase, and with RERA coming in, it will only allow people to believe in under construction. If you ride these 2 years as a developer, you are in for a great time ahead. Yes, real estate is no longer going to be the way it used to be, where inefficiency paid, where people delayed projects and prices kept on going. People will have to build in these 2 years an organization like a manufacturing setup where projects can be delivered quicker, cost could be in control, your margins are not going to be as like what it used to be, margins are going to reduce. You need to get more certainty to your business, you need to get more clarity in terms of what you want to do. I would not say conservative, but be realistic in your approach in the next 2 years. Manage your cash flows well, and which is not going to be easy given the kind of ride this industry has had in the last 5 years. I'm sure that the next decade of real estate is going to be as good as it was in the 2002 to 2012 period. We see a lot of developers starting something and then midway trying to change plans and doing so. So I think you have to be more realistic in your assumptions. You have to make what the client needs and not think that I'm making this and there will be somebody who's going to buy that.
But you had this very interesting proprietary design philosophy called Ventilate. Now, what is that and why is it so unique?
When we say design is not about for us of what material we use, what marble we use, what facade we use. It's about how we make each design close to nature. So Ventilate is basically how we get light, height and air. So we've kind of trained each one of us in the organization to look at each design with the perspective of making sure that there's enough light, there's enough height and there's enough natural air flowing into each and every apartment or whatever we do. Each and every time we look at designs as to how can it be close to Mother Nature. So that goes down right from the chairman to the lowest level at the person at site, making sure that that concept of design remains throughout the entire system.
I've seen that you have some amazing cricket memorabilia, you have some amazing certificates of marathon running. Any learnings from marathon or cricket that you kind of have brought in to work as well?
It's got me changed as a human, it's got patience in me, it's got me the mental strength, it's got me how to deal with pressures. It makes you mentally very strong. It makes you achieve things which you never thought you can achieve. So same things you apply in your business, same things you apply at home, and most important, it gets discipline in your daily life.
All right, now Navin, before I let you go, we have this fun section that I end an interview with. It's a little rapid fire round. So I've got 5 questions for you. All right, let's go. If you could be a sports person, who would you be?
Rahul Dravid.
Why?
I just love him. I mean, I think he is, I think not only for his game, but I think his attitude, his commitment, his discipline.
What's on top of your bucket list?
My 6 world major marathons.
What would be your one-line message to the world if you could put it out there on a billboard for everyone to read?
Whatever you do, give 100%, do it with passion, do it with pride, and enjoy doing it.
And I mean, final question, any person that you look up to as an inspiration, as a leader, as someone that you're learning from, who is inspiring you?
I think for his innovation, Elon Musk is somebody who I think in our generation is somebody who's creating innovations of another level. He's just redescribing everything.
Well, those were some great insights from Navin Makhija, the MD of the Wadhwa Group. But it's time for a very short break. Up next, my colleague Pooja Jain seeks the perspective of another Asian business leader and luminary from the real estate sector. All that and more after this break. Stay with us.
With over 150 projects spanning over 60 million square feet in aggregate, the Haware Group is rapidly redefining real estate development. And we spoke to the group's executive director, Sanjay to understand his approach to building brand loyalty in the fiercely competitive real estate market.
Since 1995, the Haware Group has made developing real estate for the common man its main mission. We met with the executive director at the helm of the multi-specialty firm, Sanjay to understand the principles that guide him in leading the group to become the brand to reckon with across the various facets of affordable real estate.
So prior to becoming a builder, you've enjoyed a long legacy in the electricity sector. How has that ultimately shaped your approach to real estate development?
I was in the power sector working for the government of Maharashtra. That time I had moved around the world, worked through the government of India, and I have seen the world. And in India, we are deprived of the basic needs. So we thought of we should enter into that business and we should provide the shelter by way of providing housing to the common man.
Well, sir, aside from housing, Haware Group has been a multi-specialty firm from the beginning, right? From tech parks to townships, from malls to multiplexes. Sort of an unconventional strategy for the mid-90s. What guided these decisions?
As Haware Group started in the housing first, at the same time we found that there is a need of in the other sector also. Like it was a boom in IT sector that time. When we provided the housing for a common man, we thought of making the IT sector also open to a common man. Similarly, business sector, business parks and multiplexes, we should do something to make it available to the common man. So we devised a concept of nano housing. Afterwards, we make the nano offices also. We provided the small offices in the IT park so that a normal man who wanted to start his small business, he should be able to do the business. That was the need we felt and we started fulfilling it.
Making real estate affordable across sectors is unheard of in this city, Mumbai. So that said, how do you make that happen without compromising on quality?
Firstly, it was Haware Group was always thinking of providing the services to the common man. With that intention, we decided the need is there, but it is not affordable. So we thought we had done good research on this, how to make it affordable. So all the engineers of Haware Group and we all directors, we thought over it and decided we should reduce the sizes of the houses, construct the houses at a land which is affordable, and total tax size, it should be within the budget of a common man.
Now, sir, in terms of decisions, there's another unique decision in your track record that I must ask you about. In the heart of the recession, you made the decision to diversify into business process outsourcing, into IT-enabled services, as a part of the extension of the real estate conglomerate you'd already built. Why take a step in that direction?
In the ITES, main input is the premises, which we were having. That's the first thing. Second thing, when the IT boom started in India, it was only meant for providing service to the developed countries like Europe and America. So it is a service industry. We thought of the similar services will be required in India also. We are growing, we are expanding, and we are demanding more services. So that was the point when we decided to diversify into ITES BPO industry.
And sir, these decisions, this decision to serve the common man in your effort to build real estate across sectors, was it ever met with any resistance, internally or externally? Did you ever struggle with this decision at the time?
This affordable word came afterwards, but we started much before when this affordable word was even named there. HUDCO, which is the premier agency, housing agency in India, they had been to us, how you are achieving this. So they had taken the cue from our working, they presented it to the National Housing Bank, and they started making the affordable sector. So there was a resistance when we have designed, even from the planners, from our architect, nobody had done it yet. It's a big risk, whether it will be sellable, non-sellable, or either you will end up in a mess. Right. Or if you end up in a mess, what you will do? But we were confident that we have to provide these services to a common man. So when we were determined with our intentions, then we were confident that we will succeed. So in spite of all the negative things, we started it and we won.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but that seems to be what defines a leader, the decision making such that it reflects the interests of all stakeholders involved. So that said, how would you describe your leadership style in this context?
Think of giving to the society. When you think of giving to the society, it pays you back. And that's what we followed. And that is the key for our achievement.
Now, one thing we've noticed is that Haware Group as a builder demonstrates a strong orientation towards corporate social responsibility. Where does this stem from, and how do you plan to carry this legacy forward?
It's not a business, but it's a service. The corporate social responsibility was made applicable in the recent years, since last 2-3 years. We were following it since inception, without naming it as a corporate social responsibility, but we had taken it as a responsibility. So we have seen the simple things like the construction laborers. He is the person who is working hard on all our construction sites.
Absolutely.
We all say, I have made the building. Builder, I say, as a builder, I say, I have made this building. Architect says, it is my building. The structural consultant says, I have done it. But only the laborer who works hard there, he doesn't never say that I have done it. He just works there without any naming things or without any credit or something. We thought these construction laborers, they are moving from one side to other side. They have passed certain age in their life. Their children, they are on the site and they are deprived of everything. They will become again laborers. We decided to make the labor schools for them. So we started one English medium and one Marathi medium school for those children. Ladies there, they were sitting idle and they were willing to do some job. So we had started small jobs like stitching, then small puri bhaji kendra. So like that, it was since inception that we were following corporate social responsibility.
Now, sir, you've made owning a home a reality for so many for whom it was never considered possible previously. Is that the accomplishment you're most proud of?
We given the houses one who never thought of owning a house. We floated a scheme, the house in for only ₹5,000 rupees. The scheme was like that. In this scheme, we provided around 5,000 houses to the BST drivers and conductors, around 1,500 constables. So we talked to the management of these both organizations and requested them, they should give the contribution from their provident fund. So they helped that and they released it, and balance loan was taken from HDFC where they were getting the subsidy. So in turn, the BST people were getting loan at an interest rate of around 3% per annum with the subsidy of 4% from their organization. So it was very negligible amount and the EMI was nearly equal to their house rent allowance they were getting, and they owned a house. I am really proud of that. We all as a Haware Group strived hard for that.
Well, sir, 45,000 families call Haware Group home, and yet not all of them are cost sensitive. That said, they've chose to become a part of the Haware Group ecosystem. So, what is the key to meeting and beating customer expectations?
It is very difficult to cater the masses. It's very easy to cater a selected group of people and to give them high value houses. When we cater to the masses, there used to be different expectations and we have to meet those expectations. The expectation is not ingenuine, their money is hard-earned, a small amount, like we had given the houses starting from 2 lakhs rupees. For the same house today cost is 10 times more, not less than 10 times. But that small amount which he gathered, he has collected that amount from their relatives. But we lived the life with those people and we fulfilled their dreams.
Sir, you've beautifully expanded the business, but the common thread here seems to be building it as a service as opposed to a business. So we applaud you for that effort. We'd like to conclude the conversation with a rapid fire round of questions. My first question to you, a superpower that you wish you had?
I wish I should have a power to provide housing to everybody in India.
Sir, if not at home and not in the office, where would one find you?
At our work site,
If you weren't a real estate professional, what line of work would you have pursued and where?
I could have been a good farmer.
All right. And sir, what does the future of real estate look like in a single word?
It's amazing.
A philosophy that you live your life by.
Think big, work hard and achieve it.
Well, that brings this episode of The Economic Times in conversation with Asian business leaders to a close. I'm Pooja Jain, signing off from the Haware Group headquarters in Navi Mumbai. We'll see you next time.
Partnered by Times Influence.